Maris here. I help motivated individuals move away from pain and feel good again by working with their alignment. So this month I wanted to tackle cortisone shots and the truth. And the reason that I want to do this is because the majority of clients that come into my practice have seen every other health professional under the sun, and then they finally come to see me to have a more all-encompassing approach to their healing. And so cortisone is a steroid, so it's given to reduce inflammation in the body. So when we have an injury, say we sprain our ankle, the muscles will brace that area, and fluid will come to the area to make it kind of tight so that nothing else happens to it, and we move away from pain. That's what the body will do all the time. Move away from pain, do anything it needs to in order to move away from pain. So what happens is over time, when the injury should have healed, sometimes it doesn't, and we don't restore the full range of motion if we haven't understood our body or gone to see a professional in order to help us move away from pain. Sometimes the pain is so much that it's almost impossible for us to move it, to increase the range of motion in order to strengthen the muscles that were weak and lengthen the muscles that were tight to bring that joint back into optimal working order. So in those cases, a doctor or a physical therapist would suggest a cortisone shot in order to reduce the inflammation, reduce the pressure, so that you can move the joint much more easily so that you can restructure that part of the body. So there are some side effects to cortisone. One is that you can have pain where you were injected. The skin color can also change. And mind you, these aren't every single scenario, but these are possibilities. You can also start to atrophy, so the muscle can lose its tone where you had the injection. And you can also have some bleeding. And there are some other ones, but these are the more common ones and that don't usually happen. And also, if you are a diabetic, then a cortisone shot can raise your blood sugar levels. So you just want to, talk to your practitioner and make sure this is the right treatment plan for you. And if you have an infection, if you're sick, a cortisone shot will suppress your immune system, and it will also suppress your symptoms. So it actually makes it harder for your body to fight off the current infection that you have. So if you are sick, it's just recommended that you wait until after you are no longer sick in order to get a cortisone shot. So prolonged use of steroids can make you have a puffy face, it can make you develop acne, it can make you gain weight, and it can raise your blood pressure. So steroids are something that are not recommended for everyday use or for a long period of time. It's more just like shorter bursts to get you back into good working order. So what does cortisone do? Cortisone breaks down your connective tissue. So what is your connective tissue? Your connective tissue is your skin, it's your bones, it's your muscles, it's your ligaments, it's your tendons, it's your fascia. And so it's really important for you to understand when something is going on in your body and when you see a professional and they have this plan of attack in order to get you back to wellness, for you to understand really all that encompasses. And so I think that there are certain worst case scenarios where the pain is just so much and there's so much emotional stuff held in that joint that the brain can't disassociate from that pain and breathe through the work and the range of motion in order to strengthen the muscles that were weak and lengthen the tight muscles to put the joint back into good working order. So in those situations, if everybody feels like it's the best case scenario, the best treatment plan, then that's a situation where a cortisone shot would be okay to do. But cortisone is not actually meant as a pain reliever. cortisone is meant to reduce inflammation. Sometimes that results in pain reduction, but it's not a one-to-one thing. So you want to make sure that if you do get a cortisone shot and the pain does come back, that means that that wasn't the right treatment plan for you. That means that the cortisone was treating the symptoms and it didn't actually get to the source of your pain. So you really want to make sure that your healing progress and process has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and your understanding of where things need to go at certain points. And the last part about cortisone and the body is that when I was training for the Brooklyn Half Marathon a couple of years ago, the first time I trained, I was working at a physical therapy office and I got injured. I got ITB friction. I've talked about this many other times in other video blogs. And what that meant was it was on my right side, and so I had pain on the outside of my knee when I would bend my knee at 30 degrees. So it made it really challenging to run without pain. And so after the fact, after I didn't run the half marathon, I learned that what happened was there was a misalignment in my pelvis, and that ricocheted into the lower half of my body and how my muscles were supporting my bones. So I was working at this physical therapy office, and the chiropractor that I worked with, he taped my right thigh up with kinesio tape, and that did help. Didn't take the pain away fully, but it did help. And then when I talked to the doctor in the office, he suggested that I get a cortisone shot so that I could just run the race and be done with it. And my initial reaction was, do you know me at all? Do you know that I would never go to external things in order to fix something that's in my body? I will go the natural way as much as possible, unless it's something that I can't do naturally, which it's hard to wrap my brain around because, you know, we have a body and the body is very smart. So, but this comes with, or the doctors will suggest this when there is a person that is really driven towards a goal and they just want to meet that goal, and not achieving that goal is not really in the realm of what's going to happen. But what you want to understand is that what you're doing right now could have long-term effects that are really negative, just so that you can achieve this goal. And so for me, because my body is my instrument, and I care very much what happens to my body, and I'm very sensitive to things that happen to my body, that was not the right track for me. But it could be right for somebody else, but this is just my personal experience. And I was in my 20s. I would never do something that would break down my connective tissue in my 20s. If I were older and I just needed some pain relief, that would be a different story. There are certain schools of thought in terms of how many cortisone shots you can get. Some places I researched said you can get up to 3 at one site. So say you have something going on in your knee and your doctor suggests it and you do it, they might say you can only have 3 cortisone shots within a certain period of time, and then you're maxed out in that spot. Other places that I researched said that it depends on the area and it depends on the opinion of your practitioner. So it's really, really vital for you to make sure that the people that you're seeing in the health and wellness world have your best interests at heart. So they are giving you all the knowledge that you need in order to make the best decision for you. And they're not just thinking about you right now in the moment, but they're thinking about your health and longevity in the long term. So this is my take on cortisone and the truth. If you agree with me or disagree with me, I would love for you to share your thoughts and your experience, because there are experiences that I've heard that people had an injury, they get a cortisone shot, and they never have to go back to that again because they feel great. So I think all healing is good on some level, and I think it's good for us to all share our experiences so that we have a full knowledge of everything that's going on. So I hope that what I shared was helpful for you, and if somebody that you know is thinking about getting a cortisone shot, or it's been like on the table for a while but they haven't yet pulled the trigger, I'd love for you to share this video with them so they can just get a little bit more food for thought, and hopefully make the best decision for them. So take care, and I'll see you